Well, today on Nation, it's going to be a feather ruffling, whatever the word is, a podcast about door knocking. I want to give you my thoughts on door knocking. Maybe you're doing it or thinking about getting into it. 'Tis the season for door knockers. So if you're a window cleaner or thinking about getting into window cleaning or thinking about doing door knocking to get into window cleaning, this is going to be an episode you want to watch. So stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. If it's your first time here, have a look around. Hopefully you enjoy the show. If it's your first time here and you're wanting to be a door knocker and you watch the show, you probably aren't going to enjoy it. But listen with an open mind. By the way, if you are here, please do follow me on all the social media stuff, Jersey Nation. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or any platform, follow it on that platform. I know it takes a whopping 30 seconds of your life to do, but I genuinely appreciate it if you guys did follow me. It means the world and shows that the things I do is matter. Anyway, if you guys don't know me, by the way, my name is Jersey. I've been with windowcleaner.com for 10 years, been in the industry for 20 years, sold businesses, bought businesses, ran crews. I've done it all. And all of these opinions that I have, it's just talk. We're just talking, you know. This is probably the most heated thing that we could talk about. And the reason is, I want to put this out there. I have met some absolutely amazing younger people. I'm old, like everybody's younger than me, right? I'm 44 or something. I'm not going to do the math, but I'm like 44. So these guys that are either in high school doing this, or college, or just in that time, man, I have the utmost respect for you guys because you're hustling. Like the rest of your friends are doing nothing, and you are absolutely out there getting it. So do not think that does not go unnoticed. You guys are absolutely hustlers. As everybody, 100% of people my age, if you asked in this industry, you go, man, do you wish you started sooner? 1,000% would say yes. So you guys are getting it. But there's two ways that you're starting this business. And if you're thinking about getting door knocking, maybe you're older. I'm guessing you're not because older people don't do door knocking. Hear me out. Some of the young people that I talk to, especially when I start talking about this, are insanely mean a-holes. It's the weirdest thing, right? The older people sometimes don't really see that. There's always kind of a mutual respect and they can hear it. The young people just want to call names and they don't get how to talk to people. So if you're one of those people, understand the rest of your life will include you talking to people. Get really good at that and showing respect, and nobody will care about your age. Anyway, with all that being said, if you want to write me a mean email, please do it. It's jersey@windowcleaner.com. Tell me how I'm wrong. I would really actually enjoy a discussion about this. I would love for somebody to prove me wrong. People have kind of given me some facts and thoughts and ideas, and it's really good. It's just interesting. But I want to start by saying, if you're doing door knocking or thinking about getting into door knocking, I will tell you that 98+% of you do not own your own house. Now, that's not a dig. That's not anything. You either live with your parents, right? You live more than likely not on your own. And people go, well, how did you come to that conclusion? The reason is because if you had your own house, you would realize how awful it is when somebody just randomly comes to sell you something at your door. An image is everything in your company. Now, I want to preface this by saying, if you're just out to make some money for the summer, door knock. Perfect. But if you want to do this and make a company, if you want to build a business, if you want to do that thing long-term to sell it, it's not the way to do it. And this is where I think society is messed up. And I'm with, if you know Mike Rowe, his kind of concepts and that type of thing. But I've been a blue collar type stuff for a very long time. I'm not in the oil fields, but I've done this for 20 years, right? working in the field of doing something, we make on average $100, $125 an hour. Guys making much more than that. Crews, employee hours are higher than that. But if you're not making, we'll even say 100. That's the very, very low end. But if you're not making $125 an hour, man hour, for every person that works for you is not producing and bringing in $125, you are not charging the right amount. Now, with that being said, what are you going to school for that is going to pay you more than $125 an hour? Just let that sink in. I know so many people have started companies, they did really awesome, and then they left to go work for $30 an hour in an office. And it was like, wow, okay. Like, I get this too, but like, it's an amazing industry. Anyway, okay, I'm off my hours. I just wanted to put this stuff out there because I'm speaking to the younger people who are getting into this, which I talk to a dozen of you a day, which is insanely awesome. By the way, thank you for letting me be part of that journey. But image in this thing that you're trying to build is absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. The image of your company is what puts you through. And if you don't believe that, think about a CEO of a company that does something bad. All of a sudden the company goes under because they have this bad image. We had a company here that the owner or one of the owners or whatever ended up getting like busted for it's sexual something with a mind, whatever it was. And the company completely folded. They had changed names. They started their new company, all from one allegation for one of the owners that had nothing to do with the beverage. Image is everything. If you don't get that part of it, if you don't think that that's absolutely true, and you're out there watching these content creating guys that have a literal 1.2 stars on their companies because they suck, and you're like, that's the way, these guys, oh man, it's the hustle, it's the grind, I'm just going to get everything, man. Wolf of Wall Street. I get that. But understand that that is in a different world and industry. If you're a finance bro, right? You're a weird aggression seen by everybody else as like the way to do things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that anything on the opposite side of any other business does it that way, right? If you're trying to create a business, a long-term, a thing, an asset, that is absolutely the image of the company. What is that company? And door knocking messes that up. It screws it up so absolutely bad. And here is the thing that people get stuck on in door knocking. They're like, oh, this is good. This is one. Oh, I don't know. 1 out of 10, and that's me being insanely generous, maybe didn't get upset. I had a guy one time go, oh man, you're so wrong. Every customer that like books us is like, man, I'm so glad you stopped by. Oh, cool. So you caught a couple people who happened to be all right with what you were doing. What about the other people? What about all of that? You will upset 9 people to get 1. And you're okay with that because that's the hustle. You know, that's what door knocking is. Okay. But if we're trying to have a company and go, hey, my company's name is XYZ, and I just punch 9 people in the face, but then the 10th one, I'm like, no punch for you. And they're like, thank you. Would you do that? No. So that's the biggest issue to begin with. No matter how much money you make or do anything, that's what happens. Now, with me saying all of these things, there are some very successful companies that do door knocking, have a ton of guys. I know them, very good customers. They're just very good people, just awesome. Super proud of what they've built. But they will transition the style of what they do. Do not think that if you, oh man, I've been door knocking for a year or two, like, what do I do now? You've built this thing. You can now transition if you got the momentum. Because here's the real deal of door knocking versus not. It's the long term. Unfortunately, again, I'm sounding like an old coot, but the reason that the guys that are in business don't do this, that have been in business for a long time, their focus is on everything else, is because they're looking for the long term. If I can get less customers, but have all of my customers be happy, or at least most of them, I'm winning long term in the business because they're going to tell their friends. Have you heard the adage, by the way, that if you give somebody great service, they tell like one of their friends? If you give somebody terrible service, they tell 7. They will always be talking about you more negatively. Negatively passionate, negative is so much stronger than positive. And you're just upsetting people, right? But in the short term, it doesn't much matter. If you're just trying to make money right now, cool. But there's no faster way to just make some money right now. But if you're trying to build a business, imagine if you did, say you door knocked. How many doors can you knock? By the way, put it in the comments if you do door knocks. We'll say 20. And out of 20, you get 2 people. That means that out of the 20, you got 2 people. They tolerated you enough. They're not probably still happy because you door knocked in the first place. They maybe just fell into it. Or you're like my wife, who can't say no. But the other 18 are mad that you even showed up. They're on Facebook groups going, man, you see these guys? They're in here. It's a no soliciting center neighborhood. I can't believe they do that. You woke up my baby. How dare them? It's this company. If you're okay with that, then you're not understanding what you're trying to build. If it's a business, that sucks. You're not going to go up and punch 18 people in the face and be like, I got a business. That's the difference between the long term and short term. Short term, I can walk up to somebody, right? I could door knock 10 houses, which, by the way, it's more than that typically. But I could go there and one of them's like, all right. And I got him, well, if you do this, no, okay. I see where you're coming from. You know what? I'll do it for half. If you go all the way down to that point and you make a couple bucks, there's no faster way. You can get a job right now. But the problem, the disconnect is these guys that do this and they have an argument with me and go, well, what am I supposed to do? Advertise. That takes forever. Yes, it does. A business is a boulder. You got to push the boulder. I would love to say that there's a magic wand that can make business instantly awesome. But it's not that. Door knocking can bring in revenue, but it's not building your business. And here's how I know this, is that door knocking companies do not have the repeat customers a normal business would. Another time that people always want to write me and go, well, I do. I have 40 to 50% of my people will come back again. Okay. What if all of your customers were happy? They were so happy they were telling other people. I'm not saying you got one good review and holy cow, wow, that's awesome. What about hundreds of reviews? Are you interested in having a company that has 500 5-star reviews on Google? If you say no, first off, I want to meet you because I would be very interested in why. But if you say no, door knocking is the thing, right? You're going to upset people. This is why door knocking companies have such a low rating. It's because they're interrupting people at their castle. This is the reason that it is. The other side of this, the other real big piece is that there's a difference in a job and a business. A job's how do I get money right now? A business is how do I build this thing for 10 years so I can sell it or do whatever. Maybe I want to go on vacation. If you are in this side and you're cool with what you're doing, you can go on vacation because those guys are still running around the neighborhoods. It's awesome. But you're not seeing the point of what you're building. And again, I am absolutely telling you, you don't have to do it a certain way. You can do absolutely whatever way you want. I'm just explaining why 99% of the industry doesn't do door knocking. Right? Let me stop 2 seconds. I want to let you know I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com, and how I get paid is by putting orders in. So if you want to give me a virtual high five, definitely do that. Just call or text me 862-312-2026. I want to put your orders in. By the way, if you are a door knocker, we have a bulk discount now, meaning if you buy multiple systems, multiple poles, multiple packages, you get into fleet pricing, and we can give you a super awesome deal. So anyway, 862-312-2026. Let me know. All of our systems are ready to ship. Literally will ship out today if you message me, if it's before 4 o'clock East Coast time. Anyway, also, if you haven't yet, go to American Window Cleaner Magazine, AWC, American Window Cleaner Magazine, AWCMAG.com. Get a subscription. Why are you sleeping on this? It is absolutely insane. I love everything about being in a business where I can surround myself. It's just another way to do that. It's an actual paper magazine, not like just a PDF. It shows up to your door with stickers every single month. The sticker sheet to put stickers on everything. If you've seen any like people with buckets and things and pictures, and you're like, dude, where'd you get those stickers? That's where. It's the magazine. Thousands and thousands and thousands of stickers have gone out. And I want to give you stickers. So if you want to be cool, go there and subscribe. $69 for the whole year. You get 12. Anyway, it's CRM season also. Make sure that you are getting your 20% discount on Jobber. It's insane. Jobber is amazing. Code is down below. And also 15% off of print by using my code, Jersey15. Save 15%. Anyway, okay. Shameless plug done. I gotta make my money so I can live, right? Anyway, job versus business. What one do you have? Well, this year we did $100,000, so I'm guessing I have a business. Cool. What do you have for next year? Well, I mean, we'll probably do 150. No. What do you have booked for next year? Nothing? You have nothing. So that means you're starting a business every single year. Is that a business? Or is that a job? Where you show up and you're like, hey, I got hours today? Yeah? Sweet. What do you want to build? An asset, a business, a thing? Or do you want a job? Because this is a real question. There's a lot of guys out there who are just making enough money to just be. They're like, I'm happy exactly where I am. That's awesome. Dude, absolutely awesome that the industry itself has brought that to you. That's super sweet. But what do you want to do? Well, if I get 20 more door knockers, I'll have a bigger business. No, you'll have a bigger job, because every day they're out there trying to find the work for the day. One of the problems ends up being is that people don't necessarily understand the fact that window cleaning is a luxury service. If I sell roofs, I could totally door knock. You know why? Because I sell you one roof, I don't care if I piss 10 people off. If I sell you one roof, I'm not going to talk to you for 30 years because there's a 30-year warranty. So then what does that mean? Well, what that means is that I don't have to worry about the long term. I just have to worry about the now. Solar, roofing. Those are jobs that it's a one and done thing. That's why they door knock. But in window cleaning, our strongest businesses are the ones that have reoccurring revenue. I want, with the dentist close, if you haven't, go back. The dentist close is the biggest thing you'll ever do in your business. But I want every one of my customers on the schedule all the time. That should be the biggest focus of a company. There's companies out there like, well, I want to do $1 million. Well, you're not even rescheduling these people automatically. You haven't even done the dentist close. So that means you're going to start in January, have $0 in the book, and you're going to somehow be like, well, I'm going to just call and book $1 million. You know how hard that is? Those type of people are the ones that are stuck at a certain dollar amount, and they're like increasing now all of a sudden slowly. That's why they're having to do it again and again every year. That's what door knocking does. And the problem is, and I want to put this out there, there are some really amazing door knocking guys out there. Insane. Their businesses are great. They run a model I don't agree with, and they will eventually turn into more of that type of thing. They're going to start to do the advertising stuff, right? I'm not saying that every one of them is bad. What I'm saying is there are creators out there who lie. They are telling you, well, you want to do $4,000 a day. Let's put the numbers out. Maybe you're just getting into door knocking, or maybe you are into door knocking. How many houses do you need to go to in order to get a full day's worth of work? A typical house, you're doing outs only, we'll say. Typical house will take you, say, an hour to clean. That means in an 8-hour day, you need to have 8 homes. Right? Say you're at 1 out of 10, which again is insanely inaccurate, but maybe you're doing that. Awesome. You're really good at that. You're really good at the door knocking. You're really good at selling. You're really good at that. Okay? That means you need to go and knock 80 houses to get 1 day's worth of work. You cannot do 1 day's worth of work and knock 80 houses in the same day, because that's not 8 hours of work. It's how long are you going to take to do another 80? So now what we're doing is we're taking 2 days to do, right? You need a full day to get 80 houses, which again, that's not a guarantee at all, but we'll say you have to go and sell door knock 8 hours to get 8 hours of work. So now it's 2 days to do 8 hours of work. That's a half a day, okay? So now you're doing 8 hours worth of work, but it took you 16 hours to get that. That fair, right? 8 hours of selling, 8 hours of doing, you got 16 hours, but it's only 8 hours of work. If you're at, say, $100 an hour, say you're on the outside and it's $120 an hour, that means you're not doing $125 an hour like every one of the other window cleaners. You got to cut that in half. It took you 16 hours to do 8 hours. That's half. Oh, so now you're making $60 an hour. Is that a good job? Heck yeah. Is that a good business? Not at all. Not at all. The other guys that are making the most amount of money are not door knockers. No matter what content guys say, no matter what, ugly colored rented Lambo they're standing in front of. That's what I'm talking about. Is when they're like, oh man, you can make $4,000 a day. No, you can't. You can't, because how much, if you sold 80 houses, you talked to 80 houses, by the way, to get 8 hours worth, you did 80 houses, you've upset 72 people. Understand that mindset. But then you go and do the work and you're like, I make this much an hour. No, you don't. Did you not equate everything else in business? How much did you make in the week? And how many hours did you work? And now this is the part that you see the Pinocchio noses going. And guys are like, I did $250. Did you? Wow, every hour? That's great. You are the best company I've ever seen in my entire life of doing this for 20 years. Doing this so long, I've talked to thousands, tens of thousands of companies. That's no exaggeration. I talk to 100 window cleaners a day. And I've worked at WCR for 10 years alone. I've done video content before that. I've done talks and speeches and talked to guys in giant rooms. And you're telling me that you are the best company that's ever come across. Kind of shocking, right? Or, hear me out, maybe you standing in front of your rented Lambo is lying. I know. Hard truth. But that's really what it is. And then what happens is these guys see it and go, well, this is how to do it. Look at these guys. No, they're creating content because door knocking is so awkward. When you watch this content of guys doing this door knocking thing, and then you get all these other super giga chads that are like, yeah, man, hey, we have a I wear glasses discount. The reason that they're getting so many views, those aren't window cleaners watching that. Those are people who are like, oh my gosh, this is so cringy. This is insane. That's why. If you're watching a video of a bullfighter and the bull just, stabs the guy and you're like, holy cow, and there's 2 million views, it's not 2 million people who fight bulls. It's 2 million people who are like, whoa, look at this content. The biggest fallacy, the biggest issue in the industry, and this is not in the industry, it's just how people can kind of get caught up. I make content. I make content to try to, I'm not here to teach you anything. You know absolutely everything. I just am here to like maybe show you different sides or get your brain thinking, right? So I make content. I get the irony of this. But the guys who make content for just watching content, that's the part that people don't understand. They go, man, this guy's got 4 million views on this video. That's how you're supposed to do it. No, it's not. It's not ever been done that way until TikTok came around and all of a sudden there was cringe content on people door knocking. People can get caught up in that because they're called influencers for a reason. Now, I completely understand the irony of this because I'm like, hey, I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. Let me put your orders in and I'm trying to influence you to let me do that so I can buy more hair gel or whatever, Band-Aids, ramen noodles, all of the things you guys tell me I can buy with the multiple pennies I make on your sale. So I get that irony. But I'm also here to tell you I don't know anything. I'm just here to talk. I talk to myself in a room, and if you get something out of it, or I get it weekly, somebody's like, dude, this week was like you were talking to me, just fantastic. But I'm just here to just talk, right? Those guys are there to make content. The problem is they're making content, and all of a sudden people look at that as in that's reality. Oh, is it reality or is it content? It's the same thing. Okay, so Logan Paul is out there, or we'll say Whistling Diesel. He gets a Ferrari and basically lights it on fire and is like, just total the Ferrari. Do you think there's so many views because that's real life? Or do you think there's so many views because that's insane, it's not real life, and it's content? That's the part to separate it. Now, if you're building your business off content, that's the scary kind of downfall. So many people have not made money before, or at least to this degree. And you see this a lot of times with even just normal window cleaners that aren't door knocking. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I got this whole thing figured out. Holy cow. And it's like, cool, but so does the other 64,000 people in this Facebook group. Maybe you have an idea or concept or something, but they also figured it out and are making what you make an hour. I'm way better. Okay. But you understand that you've not done this before, and it's like, oh my gosh, to your friends, to your life, to your whatever, it's insane. And you come back to us and we're like, yeah, that's kind of what we do. Like our average in the industry is $125 an hour. Our average. That's the worst window cleaner and the best window cleaner. The average. So if you're making $125, that's insanely awesome. You're making more than everybody you know. Unless you know other window cleaners. Right? So don't let the content side blur you thinking that it's reality, because it's not. And if you are in door knocking, think about this. You can merge and change your model anytime you want. And this is the interesting thing with business. It's your business. You could do anything. You can go sell falafels right now if you want. That's not really an upsell, but sounds delicious, right? But you can change the model if you want. Again, I don't care if you do or not. I'm just explaining the thoughts, and there's so many people who are confused at why people hate on door knocking. 30 minutes I took to explain it all to you. But if you decide you're like, hey, I'm here now, I want to change this model, and I want to be more stronger, I want to be more business, I want to have an asset, you can do that. You've had the thing. If you've door knocked for a few years, you got customers. They're not really great customers like you would if you would have done it the right way, or in my opinion, the right way, or a different way. But you have customers. Why not reach out to them? Why not transition? Why not do that? If you are a company of door knockers and you go to sell that company to somebody else, that's not worth anything. There's nothing on the books. You just got a bunch of people who are willing to go door to door, which is probably worth something to somebody. But that's not a business. It's not like an asset. When you're like, hey, my company does this. I don't work in my company. I have staff that do this. But here's what's on the books. Here's what I have. You're buying this company, and next year I got $780,000 already booked for 2027. You already have that booked? Yeah. Cut it in half. That's $350,000. Now you're looking at how much money you're going to make on that. If you're a door knocking company and go, hey, I got 20 dudes who are rock star killers. Last year we did 700,000. This year we got nothing on the books, but they're going to do it again. What is that gamble? You think somebody's going to pay you a lot for that? You're like, oh man, that's cool, but we have no work. I'm buying just a hope. Yeah. But they're good to totally do it. They're really good. Oh, okay. Are they all younger? Are they for sure going to stay? Like, there is no model. You're not buying. There's no asset. On business, it's an asset. You can sell it to somebody as an asset. All right. You've listened this far. I'm off my high horse. I give you guys words so I know that you make it this far. I want the code. If you're putting comments, please do comment this. Comment other stuff. Tell me I'm an idiot if you want. Tell me why you think I'm wrong, or tell you why I think you think I'm right. But put in the comments rented Lambo. Let's just put rented. Just put rented in there. I know you've listened this far. It's hilarious to me. Rented Lambo. I absolutely love reading these comments because it's like I know which one of you are like really listening to the end, and I know which ones of you aren't. So anyway, put that in there. Comments would be super awesome. Also, be even super awesomer is if I could put your orders in for you, because that's what I do. It costs you nothing extra to have an awesome guy like me, or even just a normal average person like me, and I would love to do that for you. Big orders, small orders, it absolutely doesn't matter. I will try, or at least ask to see if you want to get over that $49 mark, because then it ships free, but I don't care. Put in a $20 order. I'm totally cool with that. All orders count. All orders go towards my hair gel, love of hair gel, apparently, and my cabin in the woods. So 862-312-2026. Let me put that in. I would absolutely love it. Plus, you know what else would be an epic, amazing thing for you to do is to get a subscription to the magazine. This is just supporting the industry and me, but I own the magazine, so I see who is subscribed and who's not. And you know who I'm talking to. You're not subscribed yet. Anyway, go to awcmag.com. Literally, just search American Window Cleaner Magazine. Subscribe. It's super simple. You can even do that through me as a rep on WCR. I can do that. Or send you the link to do it right through the website. If you forget and you're listening and you're working, if you're up on a ladder right now, text me later. I'll send it to you. Absolutely. And thank you in advance. Also, Jobber, the greatest CRM in the planet. Discount 20% for 6 months down below. Also, 15% off print, because you need print. Print is amazing. Steve and Jill over there are just some of the greatest people ever. There's a coupon code for that too. So anyway, I've talked your ear off. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't yet, contemplate door knocking. Not telling you either way. Think about it. More importantly, go out there and be epic.